Jai Hind. I am Dr. Sweta Bhardwaj from Department of Environmental Engineering, Faculty of Engineering and Technology College, Swami Vivekanand Subharati University. Today I am going to present the topic Environmental Basics. Yes, so here we start the topic environment. What is the meaning of environment? The meaning of environment, the term environment generates from the term environ. That means that is the basically the Greek word. It means encircle. Encircle is the surroundings. Everything which is present in our surrounding is called the environment. Whatever the thing is living or non-living. It's not the matter, but it is present in our surrounding, it affects on us, it interacts with each other, it is called the environment. On the basis of that, we can distribute the environment, the component of environment into two parts, that is living and non-living. So basically, the component of environment are divided into two portions, that is called biotic components and abiotic component. Understand? The biotic components, these are the components which are living component present on the earth. These are the living component present on the earth, and the abiotic component, these are the non-living component present in our surrounding. The living component, if we differentiate the living component, then we differentiate that according to autotrophs and heterotrophs. And further it is divided into sub portions of the autotrophs, and these are also divided into another portion. The non-living component, which are non-living. Actually, these are the totally your climatic conditions. These are the soil, temperature, wind, etc. First of all, when we talk about the environment, then we discuss about the segments of environment. What are the general segments of environment are? Segments of environment. These are the three main segments, that is atmosphere, lithosphere and hydrosphere. We take it one by one, three of them: lithosphere, atmosphere and hydrosphere. First of all, we discuss about the atmosphere. What is atmosphere? As the name depicted, in the air part of the earth is called the atmosphere. Everything present in the air is called the atmosphere, in the form of gases. The gaseous composition present on the earth is called the atmosphere. And the other component also, these are the, other than the gases, the particulate matter and another matter, dust, mist, all the things which are present in the air is called the atmosphere. When we talk about the atmosphere, then we discuss about the different parts of the atmosphere. There are different layers in the atmosphere which are, if we draw a simple diagram of the atmosphere, that is Earth. The first layer of the atmosphere up to some extent, the second layer, the third layer, the fourth layer, the fifth layer. These are the common structure of our Earth and the atmospheric layers. These are distributed according to their temperature variation and their altitude. When we draw a graph diagram of that will show in this manner, like that. This is a graphical representation of the atmospheric layer. In the y-axis, we take altitude, and on the x-axis, we can take temperature variation. In the x-axis. So, the first layer of atmosphere. We talk about the first layer, that is called the troposphere. That is the troposphere. The troposphere is the first layer of the atmosphere. Closest layer to the earth, we already see in this diagram, troposphere is the closest layer of the atmosphere. About 80% of the atmospheric mass is contained within it. All the gases, mostly this is the part in which 80% of the gases component which are present on the earth, on the atmosphere, which are present in the troposphere. Troposphere is the layer which directly contact with the human being also. We are living here on the earth, and this is the layer which is directly contacted with us. The thickness varies 70.5 km to 18 kilometers. And this is from the polar region. Actually, from the polar region it is 12 km, and on the equator it is 6.4 km. The functioning of the troposphere is all the gas thundering of the clouds present here, all the activity related to the human being, related to our activity, the industrial gases also depicted here. The most polluted layer is the troposphere, because that is directly contacted with us. The second layer of the atmosphere is the stratosphere. The stratosphere we can also named as ozonosphere. Why we call this is the ozonosphere? Because the ozone concentration is high in this layer. Ozone is formed all the time here by the oxygen component mixed with the oxygen molecule and form the ozone. This is the reversible reaction. Not the ozone present in this layer, but continuously the processing of the manufacturing of ozone present in this layer. This is actually the protected layer for the human being from the sun UV rays. ये एक protected layer है जो that is protected from the UV rays and infrared rays of the sun, या harmful rays of the sun to the human being. The third layer of the atmosphere is the mesosphere, and it is also called the middle layer. Mesosphere is also called the middle layer of the atmosphere. The features of the mesosphere is the third layer of the atmosphere, lies above the stratosphere and extends up to 85 kilometers from the Earth's surface. The thickness is 35 kilometers. Main functioning in this layer is the meteorites burning, which are the outer space rocks and different meteorites comes on the earth, but this layer protects us from the meteorites activity. The mesosphere is the reason the minimum temperature in the atmosphere is minus 100 degrees C. The lapse rate is positive here. Next is the thermosphere. Next layer is thermosphere. Okay, the fourth layer of the atmosphere lies above the mesosphere. It lies 85 kilometers to 500 kilometers, and the maximum temperature, the lowest pressure and the low density present here. The lapse rate is negative in this layer. It consists of ionosphere. The ionic activities of the spacious components are present here. Because of the thermosphere, all the stars use their ionic composition and the radios and all the activities related to ionic components because of this layer only. The last layer is the exosphere, and it lies thermosphere from 500 kilometer onwards. It consists of things human construction use and do in the environment. As such, there is no layer individually as ionosphere. It transits between 48 kilometers to 600 kilometers at the altitude. It is all about the atmosphere. Here we study the different atmospheric layers, which are the troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere and exosphere. And from the diagram which we plot the graph, in which we see the altitude of these layers and depicted the temperature variation. This is the must. This is very important thing. What is the lapse rate in the individual layers? What is the functioning in this layer, and what is the altitude of this layer from the earth surface? This is the functioning of atmosphere, and this is very important at the point of view of the environment. Next is we discuss the lithosphere. Lithosphere, every land material present on our earth is called the lithosphere. In the lithosphere, different layers of the rocks, gravel, soil, water present underground. It is basically the earth transition area. It is basically the earth transition area present on the earth. So, when we discuss about the lithosphere, we have to know about that. The word lithosphere refers to the layers of rock material on the earth's surface, both on continent and ocean floor. In simple words, the rocky portion of the environment of the lithosphere. Lithosphere includes a study of rocks, form of soil, actual medium of growth of plant, animals, microorganisms, and the generation of the groundwater, where it is the aquifer is present, what is the depth of the aquifers in this earth, and which depend on the soil in thin veneer that covers the most of the earth surface. Soil is generally composed of sand, silt, clay, particles, organic matter, water, air, space. Soil is the renewable resource. In the soil composition, when we discuss about the soil, it is oxygen, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, sodium, iron and potassium, which is present in the different percentage on the earth. After the atmosphere and the lithosphere, when we discuss about the third segment of the environment, it is called the hydrosphere. Hydrosphere is a layer in which water or near the earth's surface. Aquatic bodies can be divided into two categories. It is the Atlantic and floating. Two types of categories we can divide it. The hydrosphere, water portion present on the earth. The Atlantic is the stagnant water which is not running, which is only established area, that is pond, lakes, etc. And the Lotic means the running water such as rivers, streams, etc. The Pacific Ocean is the deepest of all the ocean and covers 1/3 of the earth's surface. Atlantic Ocean is roughly half of the size. Pacific Ocean covers about 1/6 of the earth's surface. Indian Ocean is smaller than the Atlantic Ocean, and the Arctic Ocean is the smallest and shallowest. Antarctic Ocean is also known as Southern Ocean and Austral Ocean. That is all about the segments of the environment, which is enough to read for the environmental basics. What is the segments and what are the components of the environment. Generally we discuss that the hydrosphere, lithosphere and atmosphere, and in that we already covers almost all the things which are present on the earth in the form of rocks or soils which are present in the lithosphere, the form of the water, the percentage of the water. In the hydrosphere we already generally discuss about the water cycle also. What happened in the water cycle and what is the circulation of water in the earth. What kind of circulation? That is evaporation from the surface water. After that the precipitation, condensation, and that water is reversed back on the earth in the form of rainfall, and that recharge all the water present on the earth. That is only the source is the rainfall. The rainfall is a factor which already much amount or much higher percentage that affects the recharging of water present on the earth. So that is all about. And the fourth component when we discuss, we can say that the fourth component also present on the environment is called the biosphere. It is called as the biosphere. Biosphere is the all the living component, whatever it is, the plantation, the human being, the wildlife, the insects, all which have the life in that, it is called the biosphere. Now we discuss about the biosphere and the component of the environment. We discuss before that we discuss about the component of environment, the biotic and abiotic things. We have to know about the importance, scope, multidisciplinary approach of the environmental sciences in a broad way. We have to know about the scope of the environmental sciences, that is we live in the natural surrounding, that is forest, river, mountain, etc. and these all surroundings are the renewable because of the mother earth, and some resources, these are the minerals, oils, these are the non-renewable resources present on the earth which are also available for us to fulfill our need, to fulfill our desire. Due to increase the population, these resources are degraded day by day, or we can say that these resources are getting depleted gradually because the demand is increases and the recharging capacity of this is the same, is not the reduces, but our population, our requirement, our demand is increases day by day, so the problem arises. There is a need to understand, make ourselves aware of that, and the natural assets which we get connected about the environment, and we also know about the how we use these resources sustainability. By the sustainable development, we can understand that the things we use the resources in this manner, we don't deplete the lithosphere, hydrosphere and atmosphere. The natural composition which are given by the mother nature, which are given by the God, we are not supposed to say that we are not authorized the person to deplete them. Otherwise, the reverse impact only on us only. The scope of environmental studies is very wide and nearly covers aspect of every major discipline. Biology, chemistry, physics, geography, resource management, economy, etc. All the things, all the subjects are related to that. Multidisciplinary nature. Because of that, we can say that the environment is the multidisciplinary science and present on the earth. Environmental studies deals with the working of earth, life support system. It interact, influences and solution, keeping in view the complex nature of environment, knowledge of environment, various disciplines of science, law and engineering technology. When we use the new technology to reduce the resource uses and use or adopt the sustainable development, we are doing the development day by day. But these are not the sustainable development. What is that? This is the sustainable development when we don't deplete or don't exploit the things, don't exploit the renewable or non-renewable things. Existence and behavior of the living or non-living constitutes of the environment are covered by the laws. The physical, chemical, geographical and biological selections, sciences present in that. Human behavior and management of human societies are covered by physiological, political and other sciences are also included in that. A part of these sciences, many more technologies used in the environment. When we improve, when we want to improve the environment, we have to study all the sciences, and all the sciences relate to the environment for the development of the world. Rules framed for maintenance of environment in the healthy state come under jurisdiction of the national legislation, while agreements reached regarding common problems of more than two countries come under purview of the international law. When we make these international laws, then we cumulatively, then we are with all the peoples, with all the human beings, with the welfare of all the human beings, we have to accumulate each other, help each other and make the international law to reduce the depletion of these resources. About the multidisciplinary nature we already discussed, and the scope already we have to discuss about the environment, the scope of the environment. Now we discuss about the importance of the environmental sciences in our life, in our daily life, in our developed life, as for the nation, as for the internationally, all the countries included in the environment. The importance of environmental sciences. The growing complexity of the environmental problem is creating need for the scientist and the rigorously interdisciplinary nature. training to the environmental sciences. Environmental scientists and specialists uses their knowledge of the natural sciences and protect the environment for the human health only. We all are working for us only. The human greed is like that. When the environment reversely action on us, then we want to improve the environment. Otherwise, we are not thinking about, not a single person think about that. When that reverse action on ourselves, then we think about the environment. And it is very necessary to know about the basic things of environment to everyone, because everyone involved to deplete the environment. Everyone who are using the resources present here, the resources in the form of non-living things, the resources in the form of living thing, they are all the interaction, they are using all the things. Then you should know about the basics of environment. You already think about once. You think what is right and what is wrong for us. Because the things are actually the problem of the human being is that we think that the other one is thinking. I am not thinking, I am only doing. But when we cumulatively thinking and individually thinking is required to protect our environment. Now that is the very alarming situation, and all the people concerned for that, because we using for our development, we are using the wildlife, we are using the insects, because we develop the society, we develop more and more advancement, we want our life so lavishly. So the importance of environmental sciences and the awareness of environmental sciences at this regard is very necessary to realize that environmental problems are global. We think about that. To understand the impact of development on environment, to discover sustainable way of living. What is the sustainable development and what is the sustainable approach to live on the earth? Live or let live. To utilize natural resources efficiently. And what is the importance of earth? That always meaningful that when we aware the general people, what is the need to aware the general public? We are all are the professional, you all are the students, all the industrialists, also a part of any workshop, any seminars, and get the knowledge of the environment. But there is a need of 50% of the people which are not aware, because they are completing their education, or they are the domestic people, they are the people which are living or at home, are home ladies, and all the people which are not concerned about the outer world, not involved in the developmental activity, but they are the part of the environment. They are also play a role to deplete the environment. So they should know about the knowledge of environment, at least the basic knowledge of environment. What should we do or what should we not do? The need for public awareness is the human are responsible for all the depletion of the natural resources, degradation of the vital life supporting system. That is very bad to hear, but it is the truth. Like air, water, soil, we all depleted the things. Ecological imbalance, deterioration of the environment. To get rid of the environmental problem, environmental awareness is very necessary action. It ensures that everyone knows about the consequences and the activity we perform. What are the consequences of that? That we should know about that. Improving the quality of environment is also a factor to improve the environment. So that is very necessary to increase the awareness in the general people. To shed light in contemporary concepts such as how to conserve the biodiversity, how to conserve the natural resources, mainly the non-renewable resources which are not available for us for every time, these stored in the earth in a limited amount. To learn to create awareness about the environmental problems at local, national, and also the international level. Water, air, soil, forest are all our life support system. So we have to preserve it for our life saving. Natural resources are limited in nature and continue to shrink or deplete. May be depleted for 10, 20 or 50 or maximum to 100 of the year. So what is the future of our generations? We live our life lavishly, but for the future generation, what we left? The bank balance? What is the rule of that type of bank balance when the resources are not present there? In the COVID situation, we also handled these kind of things. Money is only the resource available. When the resource is available, then the money is usable. Otherwise, no use of that kind of money when the resources are not available. The live example in the COVID, we all felt that. Almost every act of the human being creates some effect of environment. But if it is the cost benefit analysis or we improve in other way, in another way, then we accept these challenges. Something is good when we cope up these type of things. Earth resources are dwindling and our environment is being increasingly degraded by the human activities, hence something needed to be done. In all the activities, when we start any activity, we think at least once it is right or wrong, or what is the way to perform this activity. While these activity in the terms of the long process, not this process, but it is good for environment, then we adopt the long process only, not adopt the shortcut development processes which deplete or deteriorate or exploit our environment day by day. Mass public awareness, newspaper, radio, television, mass media play a strongly influences all the people. We uses the slogan, we use the mass media for that, all the ads perform in that. I realized that in the many more year back, the DD1 channel present the different type of ads, and today I also remind this act Pani Chala Jayega and these all the things from that time I have in mind, because the visualization is the capacity of the human being. We adopt the visuals very easily. We capture these things in our mind very easily. The mass media play an important role, NGOs play important role. The day's celebration concept which are internationally accepted. We adopt the water day, earth day, soil day, ozone day and different things present in our earth. These all things are present on the earth. The celebration of the days which remind us ozone hole is a concept, greenhouse is a concept, global warming is a concept, and earth is a concept. The soil day, soil degradation day is a concept. Now we use this in the schools also. From the first excuse me, first grade we use these things very frequently, and these are very effectively. We adopt the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, and in the 5 years we feel change in our India also. So these are the technologies which we use. These are the things we adopt in our daily life which improve the life. Not the engineers, not the environmental concerned person improve the environment, only all the persons which involve in all the activity of the environment that improve the environment. Yes, that's all. Thank you so much.